Welcome to Science Vision Africa, aka African School of Grassroots Science, where we try to teach you science the way you go fit understand it, the way anybody can understand it, even market women, anybody, as long as they can listen, they will be able to understand me. Because my goal is to help African children conceptualize science, to actually understand what science is. My own teaching, as you can see, is different. Now, pidgin English I go to use to talk so that you go to hear me well, and anybody will go to watch video or will go to watch them in future go to understand well. If you follow serially everything I'm going to teach you, science will be more and more to you in your school. In fact, it will reboot your brain to help you understand science better. So, I'm going to teach you both the things they tell you in school and some of the things they don't teach you in school. I'm also going to be telling you how education has been used as a tool of mental slavery against black people. Whenever I see that, I will let you know that. This video, as you can see, now introduction to science. So, Wetin be science? The shortest answer now. Science now. The study of nature. Science, the study of nature, and how nature works. The study of nature and how nature works. So, it's therefore important that we understand what nature is. Because without understanding what nature is, you cannot be able to understand science. So, we're going to dedicate this lesson now talking about nature. Without understanding what nature is, you cannot be able to understand what biology is, what chemistry is, what physics is, what mathematics is. In school, they go tell you, say, nature. They go tell you, say, nature come from Latin word natura. They go tell you, say, it come from that Latin word. Or from Greek word physics. My problem with this definition, the way they describe it as coming from Latin word or Greek, is that it makes it makes it seem as if we are studying a foreign thing, when actually nature is something around you. Study of anything around you, something around you, it's not a foreign thing. So you shouldn't be talking about a foreign language as the source of nature. Our ancestors here in Africa knew what nature was. They used nature, navigated the rivers, built their boats, and did to the best of their knowledge. So we already knew what nature was here in Africa before we made contact with white people. For example, for Igbo language, you can call nature, you can call it Mburu, Ottawa, which interprets as follow come. Follow come in pidgin English. So you can see it. Nature is the way things are, the way things exist by themselves. It didn't originate from any Greek word or from any Latin word. Nature is universal and natural. Everybody lives in it. So nobody should tell you how it comes from any pidgin. You can as well tell anybody say it comes from Yoruba word or Hausa word, because we all live in nature. This is why Bob Marley has been wailing and crying that we should free ourselves from this kind of mental slavery. No. Don't let them fool you. I even try to school here. We have a mind of our own. If you have ever heard of some creepy laws, we talk about education, and how Africa, black people are being brainwashed with education in many of his songs and interviews. Dr. Komenkuma also noticed the problem with education in Africa when he said that education that is not based on your history and heritage and tailored to your needs is an educational fraud. English language is not a standard. It's not a standard for learning. Whether it's learning about nature or whether it's learning about anything. If English language was the standard for learning about nature, then the Japanese people would not have built the technological wonders they have built. Japan wouldn't have gone to the moon because they don't speak English, they don't speak French, they don't speak any European language. Yet they found their way to the moon. Korean people wouldn't have built the technological wonder they have done for themselves. Even French people wouldn't have done it if English was a standard for learning science or anything whatsoever. You can be whatever you want to be in science. You can understand it to any level in your own language. Isaac Newton could have come from any place. He could have been an Igbo man or a Yoruba man, or a Hausa man, a Efik man or a Bibio man. Albert Einstein could have been a Zulu man or a Zona person. It could have come from anywhere. As long as he understood science from early stage, the way I'm trying to explain to you now, he would have still done everything he have done. So again, within the nature. I've said it before, but let me write it in more detail. Nature, now, the way things exist by themselves, for themselves, of themselves, without the help of man. That is the way things are by themselves. The things man did not make. The way things are on their own. Like if nobody was living in this world, rain go still dey fall, sun go still dey shine. When it reach the time for moon to come out, moon go still come out. So nature is all that you can see, all the animals, all the plants, everything you see in the sky, the moon, the galaxy, anything you can see is part of nature. Nature includes we human beings. We are also part of nature, including natural laws, like you throw things up, it fall down. It's all part of nature. Science is all about the study of nature. Science is all about decoding how nature works. From my own observation, I've noticed that nature can be divided into nature can be classified into 3 groups. One, physical. Physical nature. 2, invisible. Invisible nature. 3, natural phenomenon or natural phenomena. I will explain explain a little bit of it. Physical nature. Under this, you have okay, let me draw it. It will be better to draw it because of under this physical nature, you have living things. Those parts of nature that are living. You also have here non-living things. Sorry for the handwriting. Living things, you can already know those ones that are living from here. Example, animal. In science, animal include human beings, goats, elephants. They are animal, horse, animal, anything that's not a human being that's walking. Then we have plants. Anything that is plants, down to orchid and then the rest of them, as long as it's plant, that is it. So we have non-living matter. There are too many here. Stone. You know stone. Lights, even lights. Lights, you can see lights. It's physical. Chemicals. Chemicals. Even planets. Planet Earth and all the other planets, Moon. Any places in the universe, anything you can see in the universe. Water. Water. Even soil. They are all part of nature and they are not living. Sorry for the handwriting. So, under the invisible nature, let me type in invisible nature. Invisible nature. Under this, under invisible, you have things like heat always there. Whether man is on earth or not, sun go to continue to give heat. Sound, gravity, time. When time is there, you can see it. Energy, force, no force separate of even. I can include mass here. Mathematics. I believe mathematics are core in nature. So how about the third class, natural phenomena? Natural phenomena. Under this, you have something like hurricane. Hurricane, strong winds. You have something like weather. Whether somebody live for this earth or not, weather goes still there. You have rainfall. Whether anybody there in this world or not, rainfall goes still there for when it like to fall. You have tsunami that can kill people come from ocean, from land, winds, earthquake, even harmattan where they blow during Christmas, thunder, even death. Let me add it, death. Everybody will die. It's a natural phenomenon. It's not a bad thing. It's when you agree to come to this world, you agree to die already as well. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. So, if you have a science mind, you can already begin to figure out things for yourself. For example, you can already know that this one now, plants and animals, things that are living, you already know that this should be talking about, it should be biology, which is the part of science that study living things, plants and animals. Then you should already be figuring out for yourself that this part of physical nature, this one should be chemistry. This one should be the part that study chemistry. It should be the part of study that study those chemistry. Then this one, you should already be putting it together for yourself that this should be the part that where physics is studied. You should be putting 1 and 2 together. By now, you'll be having a clearer picture of what science is all about. That it's all about studying nature. This one now, they call it earth science. Earth science. It's another branch that study nature. And these are the things they are studying. So, as you can see, science is all about studying nature. That's it. And also you can suggest your own examples. These are the one I could remember now. 3 main division of nature: physical nature, invisible nature, natural phenomena. These are examples I gave. You can suggest your own examples. This is based on my own experience. Schools don't teach it this way because what they do is wait and take study. So people students won't understand what they are learning. This is how it should be taught. That when you are actually studying events of nature, you are just studying science. It will fall either under chemistry or physics, biology or mathematics. Don't forget, as I told you from the beginning of this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you the thing they teach you in school and the thing they don't. So that classification you see is my own classification. The classification they will give you in school is that nature is made up of, the study is made up of bioscience, or they call it life science, which is mainly just where biology is studied. Then another one, physical science, where you get according to what you people are learning in school, that Wetin published for us Africans. They say this physical science is made up of physics, and another one, chemistry. Then of course, earth science. So it's up to you whether you want to accept this classification, because it make it difficult to understand. We all know that the things physics study, though they are physical, they are it should rather be called invisible than physical to help you understand it. But should they want you to classify it, you can classify it like this for them. That the study of nature is classified into this as it is. Two, then you get division. Here you have a division. And this one color. This is how the school system will want to classify it. I feel this is not well arranged and then incomplete. It won't help anyone understand this nature we are talking about. My goal is not just to help you pass exam, but to open up your mind to understand science completely, so that you'll be happy to write exam. Writing exam will be banana to you. That's why I'm telling you all the aspects of everything you need to know, so that you can conceptualize it and know it into even you could know it more than your teacher if you follow what everything I'm telling you. And before I forget, maths seems to be on its own as a science. The argument on maths, whether it's a pure science, there are arguments. Let me put it down there. Some people argue that maths is not a pure science, but maths hold every other thing I mentioned it together. All the sciences parts. Maths is what hold it together. Whether or not it's a pure science on its own is subject to debate. The only problem I have with science is you tend to limit the mind of people as well. I have no idea. When it comes to this force, study of this force, now this where the cocoa is. This one can lead you, into spiritism. And God, this part of science first, nothing is known about it yet. I can guarantee you that. About us and try to give energy, talking about energy, not force. About us and try to give his equation, E is equals to mass times the speed of light squared. That's all. The rest of the time, quantum physics is doing is actually leading to spiritism and things that, if I start explaining it now, I will go spiritual, which is out of the realm of science. Science seems to not have the capacity to understand this energy, because this energy gave rise to every other thing. More something like a thought, more like the mind of God, for those of us who believe in God. But as I said, the discussion of God is not within the scope of science. Science do not have the tools to understand such things. So this is where I will end this lesson for now. If you know how these lessons will reach children in the villages, Let me know. I want to know, I want to be able to have children watch this video in villages or everywhere, to be able to get a good grasp of what science is, so that they will then begin to understand it in their school. So if you know how these lessons can be expanded to reach to more people, let me know. I'm ready. And if you want to understand more of what I represent, go to Google. And search for African School of Grassroots Science. It should take you to a link to my page, to my blog page, which will take you to a link to my blog. Africa Sun. And should you want to contact or follow us to know further, to have info about further lessons, as a Science Vision Africa. Yes. African School. African School. Let's go. And before I forget, I also do music, and I have sung about this problem with science education in Africa. It's on iTunes and Amazon and other music stores online. You can check out Africa Sun on iTunes. Maybe download one or two tracks there. I have an album, African School. I have another album called Nkrumah is the Way. And I'm processing another album, I'm processing another album. I'm working on it to be ready later this year or next year. So that's it for now. The next lesson will be on the same Introduction to Science, Part 2. Make sure you watch it, and make sure you watch the rest of our lessons. Make sure you watch it clearly, so that we'll be able to have a good grasp of what science is all about. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.